YouTube, what the crap's going on? Do you ever get the feeling that you've been left out? Like that everybody else has a horse and you don't? Yeah, that's Tyrion right now because he got hit by that stupid bug where you select a mount and it doesn't give him to him. CA, please! In any case, let's get this battle started. CA's got enough people screaming at him right now. I guess I should probably take it easy on him. So we've got two nobles. Maybe I should introduce the overall battle first. Yeah, let's do that. Good idea, Air. Don't get ahead of yourself. So, welcome to the battlefield. We got a 2v2. This is folks from the Discord. We've got Reptile King and General Failure over here, and Reptile King, surprisingly, isn't the reptiles. He's the dwarves. So if Sotek has a grudge book, Reptile King is now in it. And then the Lizard Men are being led by General Failure. On my side, I'm leading the High Elves with Tyrion. And then Regina D, or Day, not exactly sure how it's pronounced, she is leading the troops of Avalorn, led by Alarielle the Radiant here on her warhorse. So anyway, let's check out the forces up front. I've got 5 spearmen, I've got 2 white lions, 1 on either flank, and then I have 1 sword master who took a nasty cannon shot right in the beginning of the battle because they were standing right behind an artillery piece. Smart deployment by me. 3 Eagle Claw bolt throwers are going to give me my range, and I brought these because they're going to be better against large targets and artillery than had I brought archers, and it's a little less investment overall. And Regina has brought 1 as well, but Regina's army is very cavalry heavy with lots of anti-large and anti-infantry potential. It's just a very small force. She's got the Heralds of the Wind, Illyrian Reavers, and a Handmaiden. It's a nice combination between the 2 of those, honestly. Alarielle's back here, and then in the woods we've got Dragon Princes, the Fireborn, and then a Noble mounted on a horse, and then 2 more Nobles mounted on Chariot. So remember, the Noble on the horse is anti-large. The Nobles on the Chariot are anti-infantry, and they are quite good at it. The Nobles are probably an overlooked unit in general for the High Elves. They're a good unit. So the Lizardmen have 2 units of Feral Cold Ones for a little mobility. Main line composed mostly of Saurus, but there are some skink cohorts as well. And then Mazdamundi on the Slock, supported by 2 Scar veterans on Carnosaurs, so definitely a powerful goon squad, and Mazdamundi bringing some serious magic to the table. For the Dwarf army of Reptile King, he's got a cannon and a flame cannon. Flame cannon's out of range right now. His main line is going to be Dwarf warriors, warriors with great weapons. So a relatively cheap main line so that he can afford the Giant Slayers, Grombrindal, and some Trollhammer torpedoes, as well as Thunders and some more Slayers. His Master Engineer was supporting this cannon, but part of the reason I brought the bolt throwers was twofold. One, we could have run into Bastillodons with solar engines, and we also could run into a lot of artillery from the dwarves. So my thought was we need to own the range battle, and honestly, Eagle Claw bolt throwers don't have the best range, but once they're in range, they decimate other artillery pieces very quickly, especially in numbers. And you can see that was absolutely the case here. And after having decimated the cannon good enough, I'm going to start choosing other targets. For a moment, I'm going to do a little damage to these dwarf warriors with great weapons, but then I realized they're just dwarf warriors. I was thinking they were Longbeards or something more expensive. And then Mazdamundi came into range, so I started hitting Mazdamundi. He's got a ton of hit points. It's going to take a while to work him down. Give you all some views of this. Regina is just staying hidden in the woods for the most part, other than some slight harassment with the Illyrian Reavers. So her mission in this is going to be to take out the back lines of our enemies, and my mission is going to be to hold the front line for as long as possible and to help destroy key targets with my artillery. And right now we are getting good damage done against Mazdamundi. We have got to keep him away. This guy can cause tremendous damage to infantry, and we don't have any infantry to spare. We are outnumbered gruesomely in terms of infantry, and it is going to be the fight of our lives to beat down the huge odds here. We're 831 troops deployed against 1,500, so it's almost 2 to 1. I'm going to use my troops here to do a little bit of just distracting the dwarf main lines, and I'm trying to pull Zlock forward so that I can use an arcane unforging on him from my high mage, and he falls for it just close enough. I'm able to get in the arcane unforging, which is going to do a bunch of damage to his hit points. I'm trying to pull Mazdamundi down as quick as possible because of stuff like this, where he's using the ruination of cities. The flame cannon gets in range, which is not ideal, but I can't afford to stop shooting Mazdamundi right now. He's got to die if we want to break the Lizardmen. Now over here, I'm starting to retreat to my own lines, but I only have horsemen, and my high mage here gets stuck. Whereas my nobles, you see, they make it through when I order it, but the high mage gets stuck. And then here in a minute, I start clicking orders, but he's like stuck in a gravitational well around the Scar Veteran or something. I cannot get my high mage out. Watch here momentarily, you'll see me clicking orders and the high mage is just stuck. Can't move. Then gets hit by Trollhammer torpedoes. So I'm going to lose my high mage early. The good news is the Saurus Scar Veteran here gets hammered by Swordmasters and my noble. So that was rather fortuitous for me. And then over here at Banishment, I think got misclicked by Mazdamundi. So again, massively fortuitous for me. Tyrion is going to be on foot, which is probably good, though I forgot Sunfang, which is bad. But Tyrion can still tank out a lot of these lizards for a long time, so that's what he's going to be doing. Meanwhile, on the other flank, Regina has unleashed the cavalry, and she's come in and smashed through skirmishers and pushed her dragon princes on into the back line. So here's the Fireborn and the dragon princes. The Fireborn are going to go take out the flame cannon. There's Trollhammer torpedoes, so lots of targets back here, but there's also giant slayers. Good news is these nobles and the chariot ought to be a nightmare for the giant slayers. There's really nothing they can do about it. Mazdamundi is near dead, but I've also lost a lot of my artillery pieces. Tyrion will do very well blobbed up in this infantry for a while. The mainline infantry fight has been tough. We've gotten some kills in along the way, but my main goal right now is to kill lizard leadership. If we can get rid of the Lizardmen Goon Squad, we'll be in a better place because the dwarves are going to struggle to fight the cavalry. You can see Regina doing just a fantastic job back here with the cavalry. Flame Cannon gone, Trollhammer's going to be gone, and all the while I'm just doing, like I said, all the damage I can to enemy leadership. My noble got stuck in these miners, but I'm going to get one through and attack Mazdamundi. He is not going to like fighting these two nobles because they are mounted, they've got their halberds, and they'll do a lot of damage to him. So you can see we're actually keep getting caught on infantry. Mazdamundi's trying to slip away, and the fight in the backfield is just a furious cavalry operation by Regina, and she is just absolutely crushing the enemy backlines right now. She's killed the cannon, she's killed the troll hammers, and now she's landed a rear charge that's gotten rid of some dwarf warriors. So just a spectacular job. Regina completely saving my hash right here, but that's good. We're playing a team battle. We each had specific functions that we had to do. I'm focusing on mine, which is getting rid of these leadership and having used my artillery, and she's focusing on hers, which is clearing out the back lines and eventually going to be in a good position because she's got the two nobles on chariot. She's going to be extremely good against infantry in the late game. So again, if I can get rid of the threats to Regina's chariots, we should be able to find our way out of this battle, even though we were massively outnumbered on infantry. So you can see it's just an absolute chaos right now, except no chaos warriors, right? Here's the Scar Veteran coming in. They're going to attack Tyrion, but Tyrion's not mounted, so although they'll do a lot of damage, it's not going to be instant. It's going to take a little bit, and that's going to give my nobles time to come in and deliver some killing blows here to the Scar Veteran, who is already pretty trashed. If I had my high mage, this would have been great, because we would have had more arcane unforging, but oh well, I guess that's what happens. So one Scar Veteran is routed and killed. The other Scar Veteran is a little too healthy, and he's going to use his mass to escape through this fight. And then you got to remember here, if I get too surrounded with my nobles, I'm in trouble. So I've got to get out of here quick before these Saurus warriors really put the encirclement. You can see how hard it is. This is the real downside to the nobles. The ones on the chariot obviously don't have as much problem. My Swordmasters finally collapsed. Regina had given them the Star of Avalorn earlier, which kept them in the fight for a long time. And again, just look at the excellent work here. Regina played patiently and intelligently with that cavalry, bringing it out at just the right moment. Once they were fully committed to attacking my front line, she outflanked with the cavalry, brings in the chariots. The chariots are smashing infantry blobs one after the other. And you can see here just how effective the chariots are. These Aethelmar chariots dealing massive anti-infantry and armor-piercing damage. You can see they're just plowing right on through, no problem. Again, my nobles are going to keep chasing the Scar Veteran. He is going to be a slippery and quick target. Grombrindal had to fight Swordmasters for a long time, so he's pretty worn down, fortunately. And he's also getting picked at by the Handmaiden back here, so nice combination. The good thing about Grombrindal is that he's not fast or a dinosaur, which allows us to keep him fairly contained while we turned the infantry fight around, because obviously the infantry fight was massively against us at first, but again, can't say enough about the ridiculously awesome cavalry operations that Regina pulled off here. Our opponents definitely had dangerous armies for us, in the sense that they had Thunderers to do armor-piercing damage. They had a nice goon squad with the lizards. The dwarves had the flame cannon and the cannon, definitely both capable of doing a lot of damage. They had Slayer protection, they had Trollhammer torpedoes, so they were definitely prepared for a good fight. But I think having the ranged advantage here was key. I was teasing Reptile King at the beginning of the battle. I told him that I have the high ground, that he should just, stop. Of course, having a good Anakin laugh out of that one. But no, with the high ground, being able to use the artillery to draw them into the attack, it worked to our favor because it gave Regina the good opportunity to pounce. And with Alarielle's healing, the speed and damage that these cavalry can cause was just too much for our opponents to be able to handle. So ended up working out quite good. You all might have to deal with a little bit of little air screaming there. Let's watch this Scar veteran. He's trying really hard to get this the noble on the chariot, and that's the right target. But the power bar is going to sour against the our opponents here, Lizardmen and the Dwarves. There are 2 Slayer units left, though, and you all know as well as I do that they don't give up. They fight to the bitter end. So here we go. Get these Slayers moving on in. They're going to be the last stand for the alliance of Dwarves and Reptiles. A strange alliance, to be sure. Comes my 2 nobles. These guys have been clutch for my army, especially since my high mage got stuck and killed early. I shouldn't have used my high mage in those distractionary measures, but I really needed to get up there and use that arcane unforging. And it really was important because it helped pull Mazdamundi out of the fight relatively early. And again, we couldn't afford Mazdamundi doing big infantry damage because we didn't have any infantry. Our infantry needed to last as long as possible so that Regina's cavalry and chariots could get the job done. Last second star of Avalorn is just going to be the nail in the coffin, and this final dwarf here, very brave, seems to have hidden himself, but when he takes a swing, the Fireborn is going to respond by beheading him. Little dwarf head on the ground. Hope you all enjoyed this one. It's a fun battle, fun team battle. If you don't play team battles, you should join my Discord. Go on there, ask people to play team battles with you. It's really fun. I love playing team battles with the Discord. I love playing FFA. You guys check out the link in the description. Go join that Discord, play the team battles, have you some fun, and just really get in there and enjoy it. Let's take a look at the kills. My army's not going to get a whole lot. My sword masters ended up picking up a double chevron here, so they must have done some really nice damage to Grombrindal is the only thing I can think. The spearmen have high melee defense and did a good job holding for as long as they possibly could. And my artillery, one of them picks up a chevron. This is probably from the damage done to Zlok, combined with the cannon. The cannon. When I say Zlok, obviously I mean Mazdamundi. Tyrion did a good job of being an infantry tank, even though I accidentally mounted him, I didn't accidentally not bring his mount. The bug that CA hasn't fixed is still there, so you click on the horse and then you don't get your mount, and I just didn't notice it prior to the battle, so that was frustrating. White Lions, not too great. That's White Lions for you. But let's check out Regina's army here. Really not taking a lot of losses, and you can see these nobles racking up some fantastic kills. That's what I was talking to you about, the anti-infantry power here, these nobles. And I like how there was another noble there to help protect Alarielle, with some anti-large, so a solid pick. And then the Fireborn are anti-large, and then the Dragon Princes just caused a ton of damage on the charge. And then, of course, throwing in the extra Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower gave us a little bit of extra range power. That's always important. And then for the Lizardmen here, as Saros Warriors, we're going to be a tough nut to crack, but since we dealt with the Goon Squad, we were able to limit the kills that the Lizardmen were able to inflict. And then from the Dawi side, Grombrindal, obviously a beast, getting plenty of kills. And if we hadn't brought the long range, the cannon and the flame cannon would have been big trouble, but fortunately we did. So thank you to Reptile King and General Failure and Regina for helping me get an awesome battle. Can you guys please go down in the chat, give them a thanks for joining me and helping to bring you some awesome content here. They are great members of the Discord. I appreciate them all. and really enjoy playing games with them. And if you enjoyed the video, click that like button. It'll help other people find us. Make sure to subscribe because there's going to be more. I'm going to be a little off schedule this weekend. There's not going to be any new game videos because I just don't have time. I'm headed out of town. But like I said, hope y'all enjoyed this one. I will see you next time. HeirofCarthage, signing out.